Thanks for...
All right, it's still good morning, Nigeria. Now time for News Super Review.
Welcome back to still Good Morning Nigeria, and our newspaper reviewer is here. Chooks, what happened to you over the weekend? We didn't see you.
I went away officially.
You didn't communicate that to us, you know? Oh, okay. Okay.
I went to my dear Iseduku.
Oh. How was it?
I saw how development is taking place there. Many beautiful houses hidden in the bush there. Not be small though.
Oh, so you're welcome
Well,
back.
good to have you back.
I'm so happy to be back too. I missed you guys.
We missed you
too.
more.
You're a strong factor in my life. I'm not joking. Bless you.
God bless you
So
too.
much.
So you're welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, Larry.
All right, let's begin with the Vanguard news. If we're looking at the headlines strictly on the front page of the newspaper, we have the lead story here, which says more pressures on pockets as food inflation rises to 40%. High electricity tariff to drive further rise, and that's according to the analysts. It's bad for businesses, according to Nasima. Small businesses to lose capital base. Not a cherry one. Page 20 would guide you. Above the masthead, why electricity power system collapsed fourth time in 2024. Maybe I should ask the Band A customer. Did you feel the grid collapse too?
Yeah, at least Monday evening
Okay.
to the morning time.
Have you gotten your apology?
No.
Okay,
No.
wait for it will come. Away from that, we have Okwama. Army lacks powers to deny Obruvori journalists access. Delta stakeholders and Falana speak. Their details on page 5. Next to that, we have federal government still subsidizing petrol in trillions of naira, according to ex-governor El Rufai. Page 34 would reveal a lot there. Away from that, we have APC national chair drama as word ESCO disowns Ganduje's suspension. Below that, NEF threat stand to be counted or resign. Matawale tells Tinubu's northern appointees. Page 9 has all the details. All right, we have a picture story here. It's an interesting one. A cross-section of suspected members of Yoruba Nation agitation group arrested by law enforcement officers while trying to take over the seat of government and hoist the Yoruba Nation's flag at the Oyo State Secretariat on Saturday, paraded by the Oyo State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Adebola Hamzat, at the State Police Command. Of course, I'm sure you read about that. That's an update for you there. Below that picture story, we have Chibok. 1,680 more Nigerian school children abducted in 10 years. That's credited to UNICEF. The rider set up special task force to rescue remaining 90 Chibok girls. Clark tells Tinubu, some of my ex-classmates now have 3 children each for insurgents. That's credited to a freed Chibok girl. Page 6 has that details. Nigeria grows oil reserves to 37.5 billion barrels. Interesting development. Page 19 has the news. On page 34, you can read up Governor Sule worries over rising cases of kidnappings. And finally, from the front page of the Vanguard this morning, we have Western nations urge restraint as Israel war cabinet meets second time in less than 24 hours. All right, Demola.
Okay. I have the leadership newspaper with me. Above the nameplate of the leadership newspaper, Tinubu paying more for fuel subsidy, El Rufai. The details can be found on page 4. Oromoni died of natural causes, parental negligence, corona. And that's the story is on page 7. And below we have the inflation defies stronger naira, hits 33.2% on higher commodity prices. Details on page 7. Defend Tinubu or quit office, Matawale tells northern appointees. The details also is on page 7. How we rescued 22 Zamfara varsity students. Staff at the NSA tells the story on page 7. Yoruba Nation Agitation Act of Terrorism, says Oyo government. The story is on page 19. Sentiment reforms push naira value to 1,136 naira. Details can be found on page 23. And we have the major headline: plot to remove Ganduje, Damagum thickens. The details, page 4. North Central intensifies lobby for chairman position in APC PDP. Drama in Kano over Ganduje's suspension. Wike camp splits ahead of PDP neck. State chairman vow to resist any move outside party's constitution. And the front page picture there shows the arrival of the president after the Eid holiday. It's been received by some government officials there. Chooks, it's over to you.
Thank you. Let me start, with this. FG still subsidizing petrol in trillions of naira. That's coming from the El-Rufai. I'm not going to call him immediate past governor. I don't know why some Nigerian editors are obsessed with immediate past. I'm waiting for one of them to tell me about the distant past too. Just tell us his former governor. The second line of our syntactic argument in news writing will tell us El-Rufai, who left office in July. Let it be more brilliant. I'm tired of that. But the point is this: the government has not told us that subsidizing. So what's the point stressing it on and on? Yeah, are we preparing the way for further, rise in the price of petrol? What is the point about it? Of course, El-Rufai remains my star because of what he did to Abuja. I love him because of that.
Which Wike is trying to replicate now.
He will replicate it. El-Rufai and Wike, when it comes to politics, I have a way of looking a bit about them. But they are performers.
Wike is doing so.
You understand? Okay. So, please, let's leave subsidy where it is. And we should actually now be talking more about what Dangote refinery should do to make it go down. We should not keep stressing that which is adverse. You understand what I'm saying?
Last week we read that the price of diesel is going down
to 1,200 from 1,650.
Yes. So that's
and that is substantial.
That's a cherry news.
Yes.
So we expect a similar thing to happen.
Let the cup always be half full of water, not half empty, even though each of them is correct. You understand? So that's the way I look at it. Yeah. Whatever happens, I think we are getting there. You heard all the hulabaloo that accompanied the reforms President Bola Tinubu introduced. But I can tell you that some people are beginning to pinch themselves to say, maybe this man knows what he's doing. I started off here by telling you he's a negotiator. He won't punch, but he'll get things done. Now, the economic policies are beginning to show. What do you call it? The exchange rate. Is it not coming down?
Yeah, it's 1,135 naira.
It was hitting 1,006 just 1.5 months ago. Let us be happy.
It got to 1,009.
Let us be grateful for little things that happen in our lives. We'll get there. I believe in Nigeria. More pressures on pockets of food inflation rises to 40%. As I struggled in my Renault, that's a correct pronunciation, to return to Abuja, I stopped on the, by the side of the road and priced a bag of gari at Idumujuboko. That's in Delta State. They said it was 10,000 naira.
What kind of bag?
I'm
sure that's a small bag.
It's a small bag. It's yellowish. It's yellowish.
Okay.
I moved just 12 kilometers into, it's more than 12, into Ubiaza and the rest of it. And they told me it was 15,000 naira. You can see the meteoric rise. That is how unsteady and worrying food prices are. I didn't buy any at the end of the day because I didn't know I couldn't tell the difference between buying at Umudede or Ubiaza or Idumujuboko and buying in Abuja.
First and foremost, what kind of Gary was it? The first one, was it the white kind of Gary or the yellow?
It's the yellowish, okay, which Nigerian market women call red. Their conception of color baffles me. It's the yellowish one, and they tell you it's because they add oil to it. So
the price.
But the point is 10,000.
15,000.
40 kilometers later, 15,000.
Are you sure it's the same bag? That's another thing.
We
need to measure to be sure. To be sure. But this issue of the pressure on the pockets of Nigerians as regards food inflation is something that we need to handle.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, a lot of families can no longer feed. We're not talking about balanced diet now. Just having something in your tummy is a big challenge for a lot of families. So it's something that we need to check. And then this analysis is about the high electricity tariff. To further push this price. I mean, I just wish that this doesn't happen, because at the moment it's already biting very hard for a lot of people. So when this takes effect, what happens? And then, of course, civil servants are expecting minimum wage increase. So what's going to happen when that is affected? Because there are a lot of people who are not civil servants who don't get paid by whether state, local government, or federal government. How would they be able to survive?
The point is this. I said the other time, I'm gradually becoming an economist, however pedestrian it might be. It is because there's no equilibrium. Earning capacity has been far outpaced by what you need to spend. That's why you're complaining. Otherwise, when I went to Cotonou more than 15 years ago, I found out that their power does not blink. But when they told me what they paid, it was the equivalent of 6,000 naira then. And I was paying like 1,005 in Nigeria. The point is this. There is need really to capitalize or recapitalize the sector. But the problem is that what comes from your pocket cannot cope with what they're asking you to do. That is where we need to work on. So this negotiation about salaries and all that, where is it heading? Is it going to help Nyere buy more in Benizuzupu? You call it mudu here, buy more mudus of Gary. Maybe she can even afford the bag that went from 10,000 to 15,000 within just 40 kilometers. That is the point. We have to talk into the lives of Nigerians. That is why where you took this analysis pleases me a lot. Because when I hear elitist discussions on television, I say, are they talking to Nigerian people? Many people really are going hungry. You wouldn't know how much they are. You give them a little thing, the way they behave, you think you have given them an elephant in place of a cow.
I know.
So you do have a point. Let them create an equilibrium. Those of us who are in regular employ, give them salaries that are justifiable. When they buy things in the market, my mother, she's too old to go to the market now. People out there, the food sellers, will get from you, because it's that salary you get more of that you're going to spend that will also beef up their pocket. It goes round. That is the issue. And I pray that negotiations are going to go that way, and at the end of the day, succor will be brought more into the life of the typical Nigerian. That's my prayer.
He said something now. Succor. Somebody was going to say succor. Is it suku?
Suku. You don't want me to start another thing entirely here.
I just laughed.
A first-year university student at Uniben called Vanguard. Don't blame them. Amara. So if the British man comes and says Amra, she's on her own.
Subpoena says Swapana.
Oh yeah. English no easy.
It's not your mother tongue, so
it is.
It is tough. But just like you both have said, I mean, it's a tough time.
It is.
What I know is that tough time don't last, but tough people
Thank you, Demola.
Tough time don't last. There is, like the government, the president said, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
So we are hopeful.
Believe in your
And,
country.
yes,
Wish it well.
yes,
Pray
yes.
for the leaders.
Like
you don't have to
someone
like
said,
them.
Someone said that the discipline, the hardship that you refuse to face today, you will face it tomorrow.
You're just postponing the evil day. Tackle it today.
You
So,
know, but you know, the Gen Z would ask you, why would you put the light at the end of the tunnel?
There she goes. There she goes again.
Why put the light at the end of the tunnel when I can have it?
Gen Z.
The discipline that you refuse
Gen
today,
Z, push us into our graves. We won't die when we won't die.
Well,
I'm
Chooks,
just stating an opinion
Gen
of a
Z.
group of people. I'm not in that class,
Chooks,
by the way.
it's
Chooks.
such a delight to have you this morning.
You know I'm a journalist.
I know.
We laugh, but we say what we want to say sometimes.
right.
I don't know whether I like your beard. Take it off.
What's wrong with it?
Take it off. I want that boyish
He's an elder
demo.
statesman. He doesn't want to be addressed as Ademola the boy.
He wants to be elderly bearded.
You know, I have to
I just wanna
distinguish
be
myself
elderly.
from all these Gen Zs and all that. Anyway, let's. So, how far?
We'll take a break. Many thanks, Chukudi, for
Thank
being
you
part of
so
the
much.
conversation. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll get into the conversation on safety on our waterways. Please stay with us.